Did you know that around 15 to 20% of the population are considered highly sensitive people, HSPs? That's a significant portion of us, and yet the characteristics of highly sensitive people are often misunderstood. Their nervous systems are tuned to a higher frequency. They feel things more deeply, think more intensely, and notice things others walk right past. If you're someone who feels things deeply, gets overwhelmed by sensory input, and needs more time to process emotions, you might just be a highly sensitive person. And let me tell you, that's not a bad thing at all. In fact, it's a superpower when you learn how to harness it. Understanding the characteristics of a highly sensitive person isn't just interesting, it's life-changing. Because once you understand why you do what you do, you stop fighting yourself. And that's where real growth begins. In this video, we'll explore 10 core traits of an HSP, what they mean, why they occur, and how to work with them rather than against them. Whether you identify as an HSP or not, I guarantee you'll find some of these relatable. Shall we delve in and uncover the truth about what it really means to be highly sensitive? Starting with number 1. You notice the subtleties that others miss. As a highly sensitive person, you have an incredible ability to pick up on the smallest details and nuances that often go unnoticed by others. You might be the one who spots the slight shift in someone's tone of voice or the barely perceptible change in their facial expression. This heightened sensory awareness can be both a blessing and a curse. It allows you to connect deeply with the world around you, but it can also mean getting easily overwhelmed by sensory input. This is one of the most fascinating traits of a highly sensitive person. Your brain is wired to notice nuance. Research shows that HSPs have heightened activity in the brain regions tied to awareness and empathy. The mirror neuron system is basically working overtime. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change." The kind of deep awareness of your environment, that's you, every single day, absorbing what others filter out entirely. The flip side is that this can be exhausting, but if used wisely, it makes you extraordinarily perceptive, and people can feel genuinely seen in your presence. 2. You feel other people's emotions as if they were your own. Highly sensitive people are often described as empaths, individuals who have a remarkable ability to feel and absorb the emotions of those around them as their own, offer a listening ear or a comforting presence. If someone nearby is stressed, you don't just notice it, you absorb it. This is one of the clearest characteristics of an empath and a defining trait of HSPs. This empathetic nature is a gift, allowing you to build deep, meaningful connections with others. This can be both a gift and a challenge, as you may find yourself easily moved to tears by a poignant scene in a movie or deeply affected by the suffering of others. Bessel van der Kolk, trauma researcher and author of The Body Keeps the Score, describes how some nervous systems are simply more attuned to the emotional environment around them. Your body reads the emotional weather in a room like others read a weather app, but hang on until you see the hidden side of it. Embracing your emotional sensitivity is key, but learning to manage and channel those feelings healthily is crucial. Also, developing self-awareness and emotional regulation strategies can help you navigate the ups and downs of life as a highly sensitive person. This is a gift, really, but it comes with a cost. You need to be intentional about whose energy you let in. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your emotional world. 3. You need more time to process information. Highly sensitive people often require more time to process new information, experiences, and stimuli. While others may be able to quickly move from one task to the next, you tend to pause, reflect, and consider the implications before taking action. A typical highly sensitive person, you can take forever to order at a restaurant, sleep on every major decision, or reread emails 3 times before sending. This can be a strength, as it allows you to make more thoughtful and nuanced decisions. However, it can also lead to feeling overwhelmed or behind in a fast-paced world. Here's what's happening. It's not a sign of indecision at all. That's depth of processing, one of the core traits of HSPs. You're running every option through a more thorough internal filter. You're weighing outcomes others haven't even thought of yet. The trouble with this is that modern life rewards fast decisions, not thorough ones. So you often feel behind, but you're not behind, you're just playing a different game. As an HSP, learning to honor your need for reflection and to set boundaries around your time and energy can be transformative. Remember, your thoughtfulness and attention to detail are valuable assets, not weaknesses. 4. You're highly creative and imaginative. Highly sensitive people often possess a rich inner world and a vivid imagination. You may find yourself drawn to creative pursuits, whether it's writing, painting, music, or even just daydreaming. This imaginative capacity can be a powerful tool for self-expression, problem-solving, and personal growth. As the renowned psychologist Carl Jung observed, the creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. As an HSP, tapping into your creative side can be a profound way to process and make sense of your experiences. Don't be afraid to let your imagination soar. It's a gift that can enrich your life in countless ways. 5. You're highly conscientious. Highly sensitive people often have a strong sense of responsibility and a deep desire to do things well. You don't cut corners. You feel genuine guilt when you let someone down, even unintentionally. You lose sleep over things others shrug off by Tuesday. Also, you might find yourself meticulously planning, double-checking your work and striving for perfection in everything you do. This attention to detail and commitment to excellence can be a valuable asset, but it can also lead to burnout if not managed properly. This is one of the hallmark traits of an HSP, a built-in moral compass that never really goes quiet. Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, identified conscientiousness as one of the core character strengths tied to long-term well-being. But conscientious people also burn out faster. You have to learn to apply that care selectively. Not everything deserves your full weight. As the psychologist Angela Duckworth put it, grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. And as a highly sensitive person, your conscientiousness is a reflection of your dedication and your willingness to put in hard work. It's about learning to balance your high standards with self-compassion and to find joy in the process rather than just the end result. However, as the psychologist Alfred Adler reminds us, it is easier to fight for one's principles than to live up to them. As an HSP, it's important to find a balance between your high standards and your need for self-care. Learning to let go of perfection and embrace the imperfections of life can be a liberating journey. Now, number 6. You struggle with overstimulation. One of the hallmarks of being a highly sensitive person is a low tolerance for sensory overload. Bright lights, loud noises, crowded spaces, scratchy fabric on your skin, and intense social interactions can quickly become overwhelming, leaving you feeling drained and anxious. But for most people, these are minor inconveniences. For you, they're almost unbearable. This isn't a personal flaw. It's simply the way your nervous system is wired. Neuroscientist Elaine Aron, who pioneered research on high sensitivity, found that HSPs have a nervous system that processes stimuli more deeply than average. Your brain is doing more with every piece of sensory information it receives. Think about it. You walk into a crowded mall, and within 20 minutes, you're completely drained. Meanwhile, your friend is totally fine. That gap isn't about toughness, it's biology. The practical takeaway is for you to step away. Quiet time isn't laziness for an HSP, it's maintenance and recharge time. According to the neuroscientist Anil Seth, perception is not a passive process, but an active one of inference and prediction. And as a highly sensitive person, you have the power to manage your environment and create the conditions you need to thrive. It's about learning to set boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and finding ways to recharge in the midst of overstimulation. Now, number 7. Criticism cuts you deeper than it should. I know that most empaths won't want to hear this, but it's true. For instance, for a typical empathetic personality, if someone gives you mild feedback, 2 hours later, you find yourself replaying it in your head, over and over, a little louder each time. This is one of the most talked about traits of HSP, emotional reactivity to negative feedback. This isn't thin skin. Psychologist Carl Rogers spoke about the deep human need for unconditional positive regard. When that's absent, even briefly, sensitive people feel it acutely. The Stoics had a remedy for this, though. Epictetus reminded us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the opinions about things. Training yourself to separate the criticism from your worth is one of the most powerful things an HSP can do. 8. You avoid risks. Highly sensitive people often have a lower tolerance for risk and uncertainty. You might find yourself hesitating to try new things, take on challenging projects, or put yourself out there socially. This isn't because you're afraid of failure. It's because your heightened awareness of potential threats and consequences can make the risk feel much more daunting. If you think you've heard it all, hang on for the best part, because as a highly sensitive person, learning to manage your fear and embrace calculated risks can be a powerful path to growth and fulfillment. It's about finding the courage to step outside your comfort zone while still honoring your need for safety and stability. 9. You're deeply moved by art, music, and beauty. Highly sensitive people often have a rich inner world and a deep well of creativity. You might find yourself drawn to the arts, music, or writing as a way to express your unique perspective and process your intense emotions. Your sensitivity allows you to see the world in vivid detail and tap into the subtleties of human experience. That's why a piece of music hits you so hard you have to pause and just breathe. A beautiful painting stops you in your tracks, and a well-written sentence makes your chest ache. This isn't just aesthetic appreciation. Far from it. It's one of the most recognized traits of an HSP. Neurologically, highly sensitive people show stronger activation in the brain's reward circuitry when exposed to beauty. You're not being dramatic. You're having a neurological event. As Csikszentmihalyi studied, this kind of deep, immersive engagement with beauty is close to a state of flow, and it's one of your greatest gifts. Let it be that. 10. You need downtime to recharge, and that's non-negotiable. After a full day of people, noise, and stimulation, you don't just want alone time. You need it the way you need water. This is perhaps the most defining of all what highly sensitive people do. They retreat to recover. It's not antisocial. It's not avoidance. It's self-regulation. Jon Kabat-Zinn, the pioneer of mindfulness-based stress reduction, built an entire practice around this. The idea that stillness isn't emptiness, it's restoration. For HSPs, silence isn't awkward, it's sacred. Protect your downtime. It's not optional. It's how you show up fully for everything else. Conclusion. Well, my beloved friends, viewers, we've covered a lot of ground in exploring the characteristics of highly sensitive people. As we draw the curtain on this journey, I hope you've gained a deeper understanding and appreciation for the unique gifts and challenges that come with being an HSP. Remember, the wisdom we've explored today has stood the test of time, from the Stoics to the modern psychologists. And now it's up to us to apply these principles in our own lives, to navigate the complexities of the modern world with grace and resilience. In the comments below, share which principle resonated most with you or made the most sense. Let's learn from each other and continue this exploration together. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. I'll see you in the next one.